The following show features stupid opinions and ideas from two idiot brothers who probably did little research and practiced zero due diligence on the topic at hand. The MLO BROS opinions do not reflect the views of their employer, guests, sponsors, families, neighbors, or pets. If you do not like what they are saying and don't agree with their views or opinions, don't watch the show. We can promise we do not care. Welcome to the worst show on the internet.
We are live. Hi, Isaac.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Coach.
Hello. How's everybody doing today?
Mr. Munson.
Gentlemen.
Dan Mr. Yeagley. She's off camera, but I guarantee she's going to be talking.
We got a microphone.
We do have a microphone.
We're ready.
So we are live with Coach Yeagley. Welcome to the MLO Bros. Yeah, check this thing out. Dude, this is like, can I touch it?
Yeah.
I've been waiting to hold this thing for like 20-some years.
It's been a lot
cool.
of places since.
Yeah,
December.
right?
Yeah.
It's like a Stanley Cup.
So welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the show. We are the MLO Bros, live out of our Poland studio. For those of you new to us, we are all of us are South Range graduates.
Everybody.
Yes. Everybody in this
All
room.
5 of us.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, that's
Coach,
crazy.
if you don't mind me asking, what year did you graduate from South?
Graduated in 1980.
1980.
That's the year I graduated.
Wow.
I was 3.
Yeah.
I was 1.
I was negative 14.
Wait, while we
But
were
thought about
while we're talking about when he graduated, did you see this thing? Check this picture out. Did you see this, Coach?
Oh, it was my freshman year.
Is that your so that's like 76, 70, 77?
Oh my goodness.
Look at
That was
that.
a long time ago. Yeah.
I think I wore that same jersey too. That's how long they had them at South Range. It was like
well, they're so well made and so heavy.
Exactly. So all right, so let's go. So Paul, you graduated in 96. I was 97. Isaac, you were like 2000?
I was 2012.
2012.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
but you never played football.
No.
You played,
7th grade.
but you did have coach for
yeah, class.
Yes. Yeah.
So all right, well let's dive in here a little bit. So before we get going, let's talk about the history of Coach Yeagley.
Okay.
Where are you originally from, sir?
Greenford, Ohio.
There, stories
yeah,
over.
Greenford, Ohio, downtown Greenford.
It went downtown Greenford, and then
Actually went to Greenford before they consolidated.
so you were like a Greenford Bobcat.
Yes, there for a while, for
Nice.
I think 3 or 4 years. I think, and then we the school consolidated, and all of a sudden, all these North Lima people started coming to Greenford for middle school.
Was there
So,
a little animosity? There had to be, right?
you know what? We played each other, and we
Yeah.
had little. We didn't have little Raiders back then. It was Rams and Vikings. Rams were Greenford, and Vikings were North Lima.
Wow.
So, and we played
Explain
baseball
that.
against each other and everything
What's
else.
that?
To all the viewers at home that don't know what we're talking about, South Range is split up into Greenford and North Lima.
Yes.
And back in the day, it was 2 separate schools, and then they
46
consolidated.
46 is the
was
break.
the cutoff.
Yes.
Where the school is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why it was Green Beaver baseball field.
What year was
Actually,
that?
I think
then?
it was Green. I think Green Beaver was the actual cutoff, not 46.
And that's why it's Green Beaver Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the
Oh.
60s, they
70.
70. 70.
70s.
I think it was
70.
They
Yes,
came
the
together
69,
and made
70
South Range.
school year. Yep.
Yes.
Wow. Could you imagine that?
The one thing I did ask about the one time I had to ask Mr.
The
Farron
school got bigger, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
was the color schemes because
Oh, yeah.
we're burgundy and gold.
Oh.
And there was 2 color schemes that were put up.
Greenford was green.
Well, they were green and white. North Lima was red and white, but they put up burgundy and gold and they put up black and silver because
Right.
of the Raiders.
Oakland Raiders.
And it was voted on. And Mr. Farron confirmed this. The reason it was burgundy and gold, there was more girls in the school. More girls got when the votes went to more
So the
girls.
kids voted.
The kids, well, people in the community, there's a
Yeah.
big group of people vote. I don't remember voting.
Wow.
Maybe I got a vote.
Yeah.
Well,
So it was we would all
we
we were
watched a
almost
lot
like,
of the Raiders, so I probably would have voted for black and
yeah,
silver.
we were almost
black.
yeah, we were almost
Think about
silver and
that.
black. Could you
Yeah,
imagine?
That would have been sweet.
Yeah, that would have
Yeah.
been really
It
cool.
goes a lot better with everything than burgundy and gold, if we're going to be honest.
Well, there's one color. It's black and silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead
Wow.
of
Because
50
we're-
shades of burgundy.
You
Yeah.
figure like Mooney's similar colors, Liberty's is similar color,
Yeah.
but there's the only school I can think of is Edison, is another like black and silver kind of
Yes.
There
scheme.
isn't a lot. Yeah,
But
that's
that's
Uh,
it.
wow.
Yeah, there's another one.
And it would be pretty cool to have been the silver and black Raiders.
Yeah, no.
Pirates, North Olmsted, or somebody else. There's somebody else that's black.
Wonder why we the Raiders? That was another thing. Do you know that one?
I don't know that one.
That's
What was
a weird-
North Lima before? So Greenford
Zippers.
Bobcats.
Zippers.
The zippers.
Zippers. Interesting.
Zippers in the Bobcats.
Greenford was actually pretty cool because they were the like Ohio U green. It was
Yeah.
that dark green
I remember
and
that.
white.
They
It
had
was-
an
it was
old
awesome.
table in the middle school boys' locker room that had
the
Greenford
Bobcat.
Bobcats
Yeah.
on it.
I remember
Yeah.
seeing pictures of the Zippers and the
Yeah.
rings, so. Wow. So okay, so you graduated from South Range, played
Yes.
football,
Yes.
played basketball,
Yes.
track,
Track. Yes.
and go off to college. Didn't you play football in college?
I did for 1 year. I went to
Me too.
Muskingum.
Me too.
Went to Muskingum College,
Uh-huh.
Muskingum University now, and played football 1 year, ran track for 4 years.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it was fun. I mean, the connections you make still, and I was still involved with the football program even though I wasn't playing.
Right.
But it was a good experience. Had a lot of fun at Muskingum and made a lot of connections, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's what I did 1 year too. Although he went and continued track, I probably focused on other things.
Studies.
With my 2.12 grade point average.
Studies of different types of beer.
Yeah.
It was
Barley and hops. He
Yeah,
studied barley
it
and
was
hops.
good. So all right. So then where'd you get your first teaching job at? So you
Right out of
did you go for teaching on?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I had degree in psychology, degree in math, education, and computers. So
There you go.
Jeez.
I like going to school. I like
Holy-
going to class.
He
So
definitely didn't study the same class.
No.
and there for a little bit, I was thinking about going into child psychology, and then all of a sudden, I had all these math openings come up. So I had a lot of choices, and my first job was actually at Watkins Memorial, which is just east of Columbus,
Okay.
just in between Cambridge and in between Muskingum, Zanesville, that area down through there, and taught there for 8 years, and was assistant coach there for 8 years, and again made some more connections, and it was actually good. It was a big rural school, almost like West Branch. It was almost identical to a West Branch, about the same size, rural area, a lot of farmers, just outside of Reynoldsburg, actually. So you could get to town very easily, but it was nice.
Were you dating Mrs. Yeagley at the time?
Yes.
Did you guys
not
date
in college?
Did you guys date
We didn't start dating until college.
until did you go to college? Did you go to the same college?
She went to YSU.
Oh yeah, give her the mic. It's time.
YSU.
So you went to YSU?
Yeah.
So wait, how'd you guys meet?
Well, we both went to South Range, so we knew each other.
Okay.
What year did you graduate?
82.
you guys can't see her. She refuses to come on, but you're just gonna hear a random voice. You're gonna hear a random voice. So I'm curious. See, this is the stuff we like to dive into. So how did the coach pick you up then?
This is kind of a funny story. My sister was dating a guy, and Dan would let this guy on their way home from track in high school. Dan would let this guy stop for 5 minutes to visit my sister because they were dating.
Yeah.
And
Nice. Coach was running wingman.
we both no.
Sure.
Yes, thank you.
Coach was running wingman.
Yeah. And we both had high school sweethearts, but he became very attached to my brother Adam. And then yeah, go ahead.
When we got home, when my junior year in college, I'd stop in all the time to see Adam, and my junior Thanksgiving break, junior year, I said, "Hey, let's go out." So me, Kelly, and I, and Adam and Julie,
We went to a movie.
Yeah.
went to a movie and went bowling or something, did something else, whatever we did, and then we started dating thereafter.
There you go.
Do
Yeah.
you remember the movie?
Oh.
It was something with Brooke Shields in the water.
The Lagoon?
Splash?
Blue Lagoon?
No, not
And
Splash.
maybe
That
it was
the-
Blue
Blue
Lagoon.
Lagoon would have been Brooke Shields in the water.
Yeah, Splash
I don't
was.
Splash was Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't believe I know all that stuff.
Good job.
I have no
Yeah. Listen, he doesn't like he doesn't like 80s movies. Remember, we all talked about this.
graduated in 2012.
Right. Do you know Brooke Shields in Blue Lagoon?
I think it was.
Hey, you know who
Blue
Brooke
Lagoon.
Shields is? No. Okay.
Oh, she was quite a nice looking lady back in the day.
I knew on our first official date alone that I was going to marry him.
Really?
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
I had a rule that I would never kissed a guy on our first date, and
Did you break that rule?
I
with Tiff?
did.
We are getting into the gossip here. Look out. We are
Your
diving.
parents are watching.
Yeah, right. But he's at home right now. It's like, that son of a. He's all mad right now.
Wait till I see him
That's ridiculous.
smooching on the first date.
Dated a couple of years and got married. So,
Yep.
And then you guys have 2 kids,
Yes.
Luke and
Scott.
Scott.
Mhm.
I remember that because I graduated with a Scott, and it was Luke and Scott.
Luke actually, he played soccer, and
Mhm.
he was a senior when I was a freshman, and he was the goalie before me.
Yes.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I do remember.
Yep.
That. Wow.
Mhm.
Because I was coaching basketball.
You took over after
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
graduated.
because that was when you were,
sophomore.
because I was real familiar with this. That's when Dave and I were coaching. We were coaching basketball, so
Yes.
I saw all that stuff in
Yeah.
you were in school. That was
Yeah.
awesome. So all right, so you graduate, or so you teach in Columbus or outside of Columbus.
Yep.
When do you make the move back home?
92. And 92, Scott was 4 at the time.
Going on for.
Yeah, going on 4, and Luke was 2, or going on 2, and we wanted them to be around their grandparents. I
Yeah.
mean, my parents were alive, her parents were alive, and we wanted them to know their grandparents instead of being 3 hours away. So an opening came up. Matter of fact, it was a middle school opening, and I applied for it and got it. But then right after I got it, Mr. Almond stepped down.
I don't remember him.
And he stepped down. He took a sabbatical, is basically what I did. So then I moved back up, I moved into his spot in the high school. And when he came back, he went to the middle school. So that's why I was
Did you
in
have
middle
Mr.
school.
Roman? You did, right?
No, he
No, it was way before you.
Yeah.
Huh?
What was it?
He's like, who's Mr. Holman?
He was a good math teacher. He was a very
High
good
school
math
math?
teacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I never had him either because he was gone while I think it was coming through, and then he went back after. I think Leanna might have had him. I don't know.
Probably in middle school.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
People everybody loved him.
Oh, yeah.
He's wonderful.
Yeah.
I
Good
had him.
math teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had him.
So all right. So then you would you coach the entire time?
Yes.
Just the whole time coaching?
39 years. Yeah.
At the other school too, then?
At the other school.
39. See, everybody around here was saying 28, but
Well,
he really coached.
It's
That
20,
sounds,
yeah, 28 as a head coach, but 39, including all my assistants, because I was 8 years as assistant there,
wow.
3 years as assistant here, and then became the head coach in 95.
When you were like in high school, were you thinking, I think I want to coach? At what point were you starting to think?
I didn't even know I wanted to go to college until
Right.
my probably partway through my senior year. Mr. Owen said, "Hey, I'm going down to Muskegon. Why don't you come down and look?" And so I went down there, and my parents liked it because it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
it
No
was
trouble.
no trouble,
Yeah.
middle of nowhere, farms all around, and so they liked it. So I ended up going there. Otherwise, I didn't know. And I thought, I'd like to go into computers, but I like the math part better. So that's why I got into the computers, but then into the math more. Got my math degree almost in 2 years because I doubled up a lot of classes, and
Good for you.
and then that's why I started picking up my psychology classes after that, and just had fun. College is fun.
So you graduated in 4 years with 3 degrees.
Yes,
Dude.
3.5 because I have a minor in there too. So.
3.5.
3 hours you were taking? Do you remember?
Yes,
That
there
would be crazy.
there was I was taking some 20, 21 hours, 22 hours a
Damn.
semester. And I had to go see the dean because to take that many, you didn't have to pay for anything over 18 at that time. But you had to get permission from the dean to do that. And so not the dean and then the president of the university. Well, I knew the president of the university's son was a classmate of mine in college. So I always went over there a lot. And so he said, "Oh, what are you doing this time?" And I said, "Well, I want to take these classes." "Sure, go ahead." Signed off on them and was able to do that.
I think I took 12 to 14. So he's almost doubling that.
Well, think about this. There's 4 of us here. He's got 3 of 6 degrees.
He's got more than
We each have 1. He's got 3.
So he basically went to his class the same amount of times.
Yeah.
And our mom was teaching at YSU. We could have gone for free. And we just decided, one's good.
Yeah. Well, I went to school at YSU for free. That's how I graduated in 4 years because I was so far behind by my senior year.
Yeah.
I had to drive to YSU during the summer. That was brutal.
But I like classes, so I went.
Obviously,
I just enjoyed it and had a lot of fun.
that is crazy. Real fast, we got 60 people watching. Can you please do us a favor while we're watching? Please like this down at the bottom. You can like it, heart it, smiley face it. Also follow the MLO Bros and Also share this. Let's get the word out even more because we got 60 people watching. So please share this video. And also real fast commercial, Katie Morey, Howard Hanna Real Estate Services and Valley Insurance and the Fantastic Tales of Merriweather and Perryweather are sponsors. So you got to do that every now and then. All right. So football. You got questions over there, Paul? You want to start firing your questions? Because I know you were preparing.
Well, yeah. I mean, we already hit like on a bunch of them because we say he comes back in 92. Which I have a picture.
Do you? Here.
So
Here.
this lovely picture.
Yeah.
My freshman year.
So you came back his freshman year.
92 is my
92, 93.
Yep.
Freshman year.
79. I can see your hair.
If you look in the top right corner,
Coach eye. You got to go the other side. You got Mr. Farron in there, but there's Coach.
Number 79 is Munson. He has hair.
Yeah.
I've never seen a picture of. I've never seen Munson
He's
with
tall
hair.
also. You know, he's
Yeah.
taller than a lot of the other ones.
Yeah, why are you so tall?
I don't know. I just was.
Did you grow early?
I think so.
Or even fast?
Yeah. And then the rest of the guys all caught up. But so the 92, 93 year, my freshman year, he comes back.
Yep.
And then what was crazy. So there's a lot of firsts. So his first year back was freshman year for me. First year head coach was my senior year, which had been your junior year.
Yes.
And so then
And we were okay that year. We were like 6-4.
Well, no, so that's another first.
Another
first.
Another first. That
His first year was a losing season.
4 and 6.
Your senior year was his
right.
first winning
We
season
didn't lose
and
that, yeah.
a championship.
Yes, I remember that.
League
Matter of fact,
championship.
you were the first 10-0 season in school history.
That's right, baby.
And
Really?
the first playoff victory.
That's right,
Yes.
baby.
Yeah.
Because the 92 team went
9-0.
and lost in the playoffs.
And
to
they lost
Kennedy.
the first round and they got
Yeah.
crushed.
Because
That's right,
Because
baby.
there was Joe
JFK.
Springfield. They were on strike.
Yeah.
We go to Boardman and play JFK. And I remember being there because I was with
Dude, we
Coach
were up in the-
Robinette and
yeah.
I was with Berkey. I was as a freshman. I had to take care
that
of
was
the cameras.
brutal. I was a
And
ball boy.
They had
I was a ball
Andre
boy for that.
Jethro.
Oh, it was brutal.
Tom Palucci.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they
Remember
had.
I remember
they
being
were
on the sidelines
giants.
for JFK. And this probably might have a problem with the Catholic schools that I think about it. So I was a ball boy
Set the stage for this. What was going? Why were we in Boardman?
because we
Playoffs.
was a playoff
Okay.
game. We beat Springfield.
No, we were
No.
9-0.
9-0. We didn't lose.
Okay.
Go to play Warren JFK Catholic school, and at that point they were still recruit. I mean, there was no like how they have like 1.5 kids. Like there was no.
Yeah.
That was who you play. They had the biggest freaking dudes I have ever seen. Their running back. I can still remember the running back.
Andre
Yeah.
Jethro.
Is that who it was?
Yes.
He
Yeah.
was like a cannonball. Is the only way you could describe him. And he was just. I remember ball boying and this dude was just plowing over our players. It was
Tom
brutal.
Palucci. I can't remember where he.
Because we weren't small then either, but they were bigger
No,
than us. 'cause
no.
we had Todd
Jason
Kohler and
Swigert.
Yeah,
Swagger
Swagger
and
I mean,
Toy.
Bricker was. I remember Bricker was in the. These guys were. These are the guys you look up to. You know, as a 7th and 8th grader. It's like, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, Nathan Toy was there, and they couldn't beat him. It
Yeah.
was brutal.
And then the next year, which is my sophomore year, we go 9-1, lose to Springfield at
I
home.
remember
But
that.
that was when only 4 teams made the playoffs. So
Right.
we're 9-1,
Yeah.
great team, don't make the playoffs. Springfield goes 10-0. They go to Boardman, play JFK, and get waxed.
And we went to that game and were cheering for JFK, if I remember correctly. we sat on the JFK side and we're cheering for JFK. And like all the fans when we left, like after Springfield lost, the fans for the JFK, they're like, "Are you guys coming to the next game?" Because there was like 50 of us out there.
Think about that.
Yeah, it was funny. There's Renee Forrester. Hi, Renee. We got all kinds of people. Let's take some comments. Look at this. We got comments, Coach. You want to look at some comments here? That's one of our fans. Matt Seidel says that's one of our guys on our sports podcast.
He knows
You know
Matt.
Matt?
Seidel.
Yeah.
I know the
Sebring head
name.
coach, former
Yes,
Sebring head
yes,
coach.
yes.
Matt's there. Says Munson gets an invite. I don't. He really wanted to
Matt.
come. We tried to not invite him when he came. Renee, this is Renee Forrester. She graduated. Coach, such a great guy. Congratulations on the state championship. Jake Arsoufi, there's Soof. Carrie Munson. I think that's your wife, Paul.
Yep. And she just says Kel. Because
Kel.
she loves Kelly.
Pam Humphrey, love Coach Yeagley. So happy for you and your family. There's
Billy's
Pam. Pam, that's Isaac's mother-in-law.
Nathan Daniszewski's.
Mhm.
Renee says hi. Chad Manchester says congrats, Coach.
Wow.
Look at all these guys here. That's awesome. So, all right. So, again, I'm gonna talk about. I said every time everybody was joking today. Like whenever Luke talks about when he played football, they're gonna drink. So I said there might be some drunk people. So I have some pictures. There's your dad. He figured out a message. Look,
It is.
he's hi. Your dad figured out how to message. He's good. Hi, Byron. Betos, congrats on a great year. Going to miss you a lot. Oh, there's Hannah Krause. We all love you, Coach Yeagley. Look at all these people. We got a South Range reunion here. Thank you to all your family for all you do for South Range. Awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta show you something here real fast. So we were talking about, ready, Paul? I couldn't find any pictures. There's a picture of my parents of a coach and I standing on the sideline. I couldn't find it. So I found this one. Do I even look the same? Am I even close? My sister today called me and said she saw the picture. She said, I'm a shell of the man I used to be. I was like, what the heck does that mean? And then you get ready to see Isaac at a game? You ready to see Isaac at a game? Here we go.
It's about right.
Look at Isaac.
Yeah, with my pale skin, them covering me up so I don't get
fell
sunburned.
asleep. That was like, do you remember on the bleachers?
Yeah.
He fell asleep during, I think it was a
Did I
JV.
really?
Not a JV. It was like a freshman game, Mom said, and you fell asleep.
I could sleep anywhere. I still can.
That's amazing. So, yeah, that was what we found there. So, all right, let's see here. Rare, high level. There's parents. High level, man, father, husband. One of the best football coaches. Look at all these guys. There's Mr. Lotz. Coach, how much did Coach McNee influence you by coaching? There's a question.
Coach McNay. Coach McNay was huge. He was my homeroom teacher my freshman year.
Okay.
And he would always go, yay for Yeagley. And he taught me how to splice film.
Really?
Yes.
Like the old?
Yeah, the old
Wow.
film. We had to splice film so certain plays didn't get shared with other teams. And he taught me how to do that. When they came back, I had to put them back together. And there I was as a freshman, learning how to splice film. But he was a huge influence. My goodness, what a great coach. And he left my senior year. He went to Ohio State with Earl Bruce.
Really?
Yeah, he was the recruiting coordinator for Ohio State.
Jeez.
And he was actually a coach with Parsegian at Northwestern before he came to South Range. And what a great coach and a great influence. I mean, just his knowledge is unbelievable. And I got to see him later on when I was a head coach. He would stop by East Liverpool every once in a while and see Digger Dawson, and they'd call me, and I got to go down and visit him every once in a while.
Wow. So
he's huge.
You had, and how many years were you the head coach at South Range?
28.
28 years.
Yes.
Do you think, this is one of my questions I had, do you think if any player you coached junior or senior year, if they walked in, would you recognize them? Could you say them by name? That's a lot of kids.
That's a lot of kids. I doubt it very much. I doubt it. Now Kelly would.
You would know them all?
Yeah, she's my who was that? So yes, I mean there's just so many. I mean,
there's
you know
so
what?
many
It'd
years.
almost be ready. It'd be easier to recognize somebody with their helmet on.
right, exactly.
But no, I've there's been so many.
I mean,
And-
think about that. Like every year, how many? Like 20.
Well,
25?
20 was the biggest set of seniors.
Okay.
You had 16 or
there was
16
a lot.
or 17 in that class. And, but there's, average probably around 13, 14 kids a year
Right.
get cycled through. And
That's a lot of kids.
it's a lot of kids.
Do the math. That's crazy.
Close to 400 probably
Yeah, right? That's a lot of kids.
over that time frame. Yeah, I mean, I just got like some crazy stats here. 28 years as our head coach, and I say our head coach because he's
Yes.
at
head coach.
South
Yeah,
Range,
he's
he's
your head
our
coach.
head
Yeah,
coach.
absolutely.
Appreciate that.
323 games coached, 248 and 75 with a 76% winning percentage. Obviously, the winningest coach at South Range.
Yeah.
Of any sport. Then I talk about as a head coach, and he alluded you had the first undefeated season, 11 undefeated seasons over that time frame, only 3 losing seasons. My senior year, first one.
that was a rough year.
It was a learning year.
It was a rougher year before that. Was the year before that?
Oh, that was really rough.
Because that was McClellan. Do you remember that?
His
Yeah,
last
like
year.
2-8.
Yeah, it was my junior year.
That was brutal.
2-8 or 3-7.
That was when you
started.
guys started a bunch of all the sophomores
Well,
and
that's-
you guys were playing. It was brutal.
where you guys got the time that you did, because it
holy
was
crap.
there wasn't that much there.
That was rough.
Like I said,
I remember I was starting, right? I was starting at tight end and defensive end, and I was playing against these seniors. And I think it was Lowville had 2 guys that went to Penn State and another guy. And I'm trying to block these dudes. And I remember McClellan was so mad at me because these dudes would rush at me. I'd grab them and just fall backwards and not let them get attacked, just hold them on the ground. and
holding every time.
Because you couldn't. I mean, you're so small, but like you said, it paid off.
Yes.
Because we were so good by our senior year.
Yeah, you
So,
got that
You guys were
experience.
really good.
yeah, it was crazy. So
Yeah, at multiple, I said ITCL and ICL championships. In this new league right now, 3 undefeated seasons in the NE8. 4 years we've only been in league and only 2 league losses.
wow.
2 times at the state semifinals, and obviously this lovely piece of hardware right
That's
here,
amazing.
the 22 state
It's
championship,
crazy.
undefeated, and only the 3rd team in the state of Ohio to go 16-0, and the first one in Youngstown.
Let's talk about the state championship. Can we? I'm going to run a video real fast. I got permission, and I do want to show this. I got a highlight video.
Jeff Agnew from up in.
Let me grab this. So for those of you who weren't at the game, okay, so we went.
It's awesome.
Yeah, Pop went. Our dad went.
I started the Yeagley chant, by the way.
Isaac did start the Yeagley. He did.
Totally
He
did.
totally. Do you remember the Yeagley chant at the end? That was all Isaac. Isaac's like, I'm starting the Yeagley chant. I was like, do it.
From like the 4th quarter, I'm like, I'm gonna start this chant. And I
Yeah,
did. And I was like,
it was the whole stadium
Yeah,
was doing
yeah,
it too.
that
That
was
was all
awesome.
Isaac. So for those of you who weren't there, and I know Paul, you were there, all of us were there. It was absolutely one of the coolest games I've ever been to.
Oh, just to play in the stadium.
Oh,
Yeah.
I-
You know, you walk out, since we were the visitors, you walk out of the tunnel from the home side. And when we walked out that tunnel and we saw the whole crowd,
Yeah.
it was just like, oh my goodness, talking about awesome. And it was unbelievable.
It was, and I have a highlight video. We'll watch that, but let's watch it real fast, and then it's like 3 minutes. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we'll put the speakers on real fast. Thank you to KEE Sports, by the way. I just found it online. Messaged the guy, and he's like, "Oh my god, absolutely, be an
Sweet.
honor." So he was totally cool with it. So make sure you guys visit KEE Sports too, because they really hooked us up with this video. It's really good. So this is a highlight from the state championship. They can hear us now. So make sure to like these guys too. Again, appreciate it, KEE on Sports. I couldn't even imagine it was going. This one. The first play, right?
Yes. It was just a broken play.
And I know it's at all. But did you start to this match here as well? You start thinking,
It hardly never he really?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah.
Scoring. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll remember that forever. And that's
So there you go. Thanks again to KEE on Sports.
yes, thank you.
That was
That's awesome.
Couple of cool moments during the game. I love Canfield coming out and watching.
that was
Oh, yeah.
That was
awesome.
really cool.
Yep.
And then this moment of that, and I brought this up with Coach Pav when he was on, this moment that almost no high school athlete gets to experience. And it was when the seniors came off the field after
Yes.
you guys had basically, you guys were going to win, and they walk off the field and they're all standing next to each other. And it's, as a high school athlete, getting to walk off the field as champions, and like there's nothing more you can do, and you gave it
Right.
all, and you haven't lost.
Right.
Like it was such an awesome experience to
was
watch.
cool.
You know,
You know, we
So
called
cool.
timeout to get them because we
Yeah.
wanted to honor them.
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
what they've done. Obviously, bringing home the hardware, playing, being focused for 16 weeks is unbelievable. 16 weeks is a long, long season.
Yeah, that's super long.
unbelievable. And them being focused like they were, I mean, all season was just unbelievable and
yeah,
lots of fun.
The thing that I noticed too is, and again for me, because I, like you said, we were 10-0. I really thought we were going to do, like, we went far into the playoffs back then, and then it was, we
Well,
ran
only
into
4
state-
teams made it.
Yeah.
And you end up running into Avon.
Avon, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know why they're in D5 that year.
Yeah.
because they went D2 the next year.
Yeah,
So-
right. Yeah, they were really, really
That's a
good.
big jump.
Yeah, but I said, like, for me, and this is 20 some years later, I said I almost felt like a sense of relief and happiness. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Where it's like you wanted that so bad, and okay, we're not there. I didn't do it, but South Range did. Does that make sense?
Right.
You know what I mean? It felt
generation did
exactly.
Yeah.
It felt like a sense of accomplishment, even though I did nothing to do with it.
But well, you did. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
see. We talk about in the locker room. We talk about teams of the past.
yeah,
And we talked about your season.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, well, Scott Valentine, Gus being on
yeah.
there.
Oh, Gus,
Scott,
that's
yes.
true.
You know, we talked about him being part of the program. We talked about playing for the teams that never got a chance,
Right.
And then we also talk about the teams of the future that want to get there
That's
and
awesome.
be like them. They're playing for something bigger. Every
Yeah.
year, you're playing for something bigger, and those are things I didn't realize back in
Yeah, back in the day,
96.
yeah.
That you're playing for all these guys. You're playing for Dick Lotz,
Yeah.
who never got a chance, and
Right.
those guys that had great seasons but never got a chance to experience that for whatever reason, because of the playoffs, not having the playoffs, only 4 teams,
Right.
getting beat by Kirtland or whoever,
Yeah, right.
and just never had that chance. So it's so awesome that they understood who they were playing for.
That's
and,
awesome.
yeah.
and I think that helps build a program.
That's-
And you're playing for you're playing for South Range. And
Yeah,
that,
you're
like
playing.
you said, that's
yes.
just generations
Yeah.
of guys
Yes.
who
It's crazy.
have put down that burgundy and gold,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, to get to do that. And I know for this area as well, and it was also for South Range. Like, you're such a humble guy, and it's never about you, but like everybody wanted it to be for you as
Right,
well.
yeah.
I mean, like
Yeah.
talking to the kids, I get to see those kids every day in school and stuff too. And when this got home, they talked about, like, nobody was touching this thing. I remember standing there on
Yeah.
the field, and every kid said, "Give it to him first."
Yeah,
Like
wow.
they wanted you to touch this first and hoist it up,
That's
because
awesome.
you've been
It
the
was
leader
special.
for so long. And it's like, in this area, you talk about great coaches. You can talk about like the Mount Rushmore of like Youngstown
Mhm.
coaches, and I mean, you're on that. And whether you want to be or whether you think you deserve
Yeah.
to be, you are.
There's a lot of great coaches in the area. I mean, there
and-
really are,
and-
and have been a lot of great coaches.
Absolutely, and but you're up there. I mean, hey, how many guys I wore it? I'm sorry, but how many guys? I have that shirt.
Oh, there it is.
You got
Show it, Paul.
shirt.
Paul, show it.
Shelby's got one.
You-
Crazy.
you
Coach
got-
Yeagley shirt.
You got
Look at that.
shirt.
Wait.
This is the first time I've worn it.
Can you hold it up again? So people
So
can see
it's the first time I've worn it since I
You gotta
got
go
it.
PG rating.
And yeah, his head's not really that big. It's my belly.
That's
I'm sorry,
if anybody wants to buy one of those shirts, that's Youngstown Clothing Company in the mall. They have
That's where I got my hoodie.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's where this
Yeah.
hoodie's from. That's where that shirt's from. I have one at home.
Matt, I walked in there to Youngstown Clothing Company. He's like, we made these shirts for Coach Yeagley. I want to give him one, but I think it'll be weird if he wears a shirt with his own face on it. So like, I don't know if he wants one or not, but it's here.
But you have one, right? You've got one? Reluctantly?
Kelly, do you wear that?
Yes.
Debbie Spees was in and bought a shirt, and
Oh no, it was Susie.
oh, it was Susie. That's right, it was Susie, and she was in there and was buying some stuff, and she said she was coming over to our house that night or later on that day, and he said, "Will you please give this to Coach Yeagley?" So yes,
Have you worn it? Have you worn
it?
maybe put it up on a wall or something.
Frame it,
For like,
frame it or something.
No.
He just wears it all the time. Just out to dinner.
Home, like he gets home, man, sits on the couch, puts his shirt on.
Yeah, but
I
that
did make
was
some people mad because I did have a state championship sign in my front yard.
That's
and,
it.
and
well,
I actually got told.
where you live though.
I live in Columbiana now. And I actually got told, got told by Coach Spate, there's rules about how long you can keep signs in your front
He's
yard.
going to turn you into
The village.
But
That is amazing.
But yeah, it was fun.
Let's see.
Back to inspiration.
Yeah.
And how you said you felt like the win was for you.
Yeah.
And it was.
Who did you grow up watching that you were like, wow,
It would have been-
that kid is so cool. I
it-
want to play
well,
football because of him.
It would have been that 8th grade year, the 7th
Okay.
and 8th grade year.
So, name.
So it would have been like Swagger,
Yeah.
Jason Swagger, who I went to college with actually at
Yeah.
Westminster. It would have been Nathan Toy, who I went
Yeah.
to college with at Westminster.
So you got to think you were inspired by them. Somebody else was inspired by you. Somebody else was inspired by them, and it just goes all the way down to the kids playing now.
The most amazing thing is, so like, the kids who watched me, okay, were like, I'm trying to think of some of the like the younger ones, like not Sufi, but like not Maxwell, but they would always come up to me like, oh my god, I
remember watching
you
play football,
and basketball too.
Yeah.
So like Chris Hatch, who played at basketball at South Range, was 7th grade or 8th grade when I was playing. He goes, to this day, he's like, I watched you guys play basketball.
Yeah.
It's
The inspiration
insane.
goes all the way back, and then that's why it comes full circle.
100%, 100%,
Very
which is
cool.
also why I still have a problem with Springfield local school district,
Correct.
because they beat Nathan and them
Oh yes.
our senior year, or his senior year.
Yeah.
And like Huda and those guys in Blask, I remember those guys. And then I went to Westminster, and those guys were all there together. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like you people. So
it's still.
yeah, still, I still have. Did I ever tell you this, Coach? I don't know if I ever told you this. Maggie. So Maggie's from Poland. I'm from South or North Lima, obviously. We went when we were. So we got married, got a condo, and then we were looking at houses. And we went over to Carousel Woods or Carousel
Corners
in New Middletown. Okay, we find this house we like. Okay, we're getting ready to put an offer in. I don't know if you heard, getting ready to put an offer in. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't. I mean, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. She goes, why? She said, the house. I was like, nope, I can't do it. I cannot have a Schuster kid go through Springfield and cheer for the Tigers. I can't do it. So that was it. And I never. We had a nice house picked out. I was like, nope, I'd rather live in Poland. That is funny. All right, let's see here. So Billy Goodall. Here's Billy. Billy says, go Raiders. Kelly. Oh, there's Kelly. It says happy retirement, coach. So deserved. Curtis Schaefer. Good luck. Bless so many kids. What a great influence. South Range legend. Alyssa Rowan.
Yeah.
Congrats, Coach Yeagley. We love you. Jeff Agnew. Yeah, we got everybody.
Jeff Agnew, he was part of that group with Lots and all those things. So many memories. Oh, it was
Vikings,
great.
Rams, 6th grade.
Greenford, yes.
Wow.
Oh yeah. He talked to me. He messages me all the time. He lives up in Farmington area up there.
I know that name. Yep. Let's see here. TJ. Oh, there's Coach Irons. Coach Irons says, thanks. South Range. Others, Jessica Schmidt. Kraus. Her son played, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was good.
End.
Yeah, he was good. Yep.
We got a couple more coming up too, which is good. They're good also.
There's like 15 of them, if I remember correctly. As a mom of the 2 players, it was such an amazing, awesome feeling. Let's see here. Brandon Kramer. Oh, there's Brandon. Brandon Kramer. Congrats, coach. His kid, and his kid was real good. I was funny is I was watching the people I went to school with kids play.
Yeah.
Very
Yes,
strange. Very strange. What?
What
Oh, here she goes.
what an amazing career you had, South Range, and congratulations on your retirement. Dave Kierans, what are you guys
What do you
doing
use for
Kelly? Being first lady for that many years is not
That's
easy.
true. Look, Jess says just 6. I knew you guys had it. But every time I go into Kraus Mills and buy, like I go there for like all my supplies and stuff at Kraus Mills, there is literally another Kraus kid in there somewhere. There's like every one of them. Mr. Palou, you guys need a beer. So Kelly, you got your mic over there still?
Yes.
Let's talk about this since we're talking about the first lady. What in the world is that like? Because he's gone. He had to be gone a lot, right?
Yeah, it's difficult.
Well, she raised the boys.
Right.
Yeah, because you were
Literally.
gone, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Sometimes you could say, I could say, well, I could do this myself.
yeah, right.
And then-
I can't
then-
because she's tough.
Well,
right.
But then you have to realize, but I've always been a huge supporter of him.
Yes, she has.
Yeah.
Always had his back, always prayed for him.
Amen.
I'll
Remember the one time? I'm gonna tell a story.
No.
We were at Watkins Memorial. We were practice. They didn't have cell phones back then.
Yeah,
by the
right.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
And,
80s.
oh,
Luke
She knows
must
it
have
now.
just been born, and Scott would have been 2. And she called Coach Cook, who was the head coach
Oh,
at
yeah, I
the
remember
time.
Coach Cook.
Yeah, Coach Cook at Watkins.
you had to have been in the coach's office.
Yes, and he said, and she called, said she's crying. She said, "I need Dan now." He said, "You got to go home right now." I said, "I can't. We got practice." He said, "You are going home now." And then I went home. I listened.
There you go.
Yeah.
And, that was
Yeah, because you got 2 little boys.
Yeah.
yes.
That's rough.
I mean, if you think about it, he's been coaching for 39 years.
been married
Luke's
for
32.
38.
Yep.
So
yeah.
Luke's 32, Scott's 34. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
but it's
But you guys pulled it off, right?
oh
I mean,
man,
right?
She did.
Good kids. Yeah,
Well-
good
She
kids.
did.
And
it's a team effort.
wow. Yeah, I can remember the boys just running around too because they weren't, I mean, they
water
were-
boys forever.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were-
I was going to say they were water boys and everything else.
Yeah.
Wow.
So one question I had, Coach, is you've been a coach for over 5 decades. And I say that because you've coached in the 80s, the 90s, 2000s on. Over that time frame, what have you seen that has changed so much? I mean, obviously technology and things like that, but like for kids, coaching kids in the 80s, into the kids in the 90s like us, and then like up to like guys that you had like this season, like what have you seen change with the kids so much?
I think like this team was special. I mean, they interacted a lot together, but through the years, remember like in the 80s, there wasn't, no video games weren't there. I mean, you didn't have cell phones. You actually had to call somebody or you had to go over their house. There was a lot more interaction between kids back then. Now there's interaction, but in different ways. And, you didn't have to deal with social media. You didn't have to deal with some of that stuff. So that stuff's a little bit different. But some, the technology is just crazy. Who would have ever thought you're filming practice with a drone now?
Yeah.
I mean, stuff like that, which is just, you wouldn't even thought about doing stuff like that in the 80s or anything like that. And, but things have just changed so much, but you got to adapt. You got to change. I mean,
Because your coaching styles had to have changed.
oh, they changed crazy. I mean, and luckily, like Coach Allegretto's been with me all 28 years, and he's been a blessing because he adapts very well to people. But you look back and say, oh, like your class was such a great class, such great athletes, and would you have fit into the offense that we had now? You sure could have.
Yeah,
and
right,
it would have excelled with the talent you guys had and everything else we could have done. But that wasn't what people did then.
No.
And the offenses that changed got so much more complex. I mean, our quarterback, Billy, he checks off the line of scrimmage. He looks at the coverage saying, oh, we can't run this, and we're going to run this.
Yeah, we did do that. There was that
I mean-
one audible. Yeah, wow.
I mean, and, he's the first touchdown. We were going to run probably sweep left or, a grenade left or something like that. And all of a sudden, they were blitzing that way.
Yeah.
And he checked off the line of scrimmage, put the back over to that side and ran a quarterback sweep, quarterback keep to the right. And
Yeah.
you know, things
We
like
didn't,
that.
we didn't do anything like that.
Buck trap.
No, well,
Buck sweep.
Drive off tackle right.
I mean, but then again, you know, think about the film. These guys watch hours and hours and hours and hours of film.
Yeah.
I mean, hours, unbelievable. We keep track of how many hours they watch.
Wow.
And, you know, like Billy will watch, you know, going into a game week, you know, he'll watch probably 40 hours of film,
Holy cow.
where he'll sit there and watch. He knows what they're doing and understands what has to be done. So, I mean, the technology is just, that's the biggest change. And I think, like I said, the interaction amongst the kids, you got to have that special group because there's so many other distractions now.
Yeah, like that personal connection to kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, you know, when we were growing up and okay, you're going to go hang out at so-and-so's house
Right.
or after the game, everybody's going
Yep.
to Pizza Hut or something. And now that's not, it's
No.
they're,
Dude,
they're
we
on
went
their
out after every
phones
game. Yeah, it
and,
was. Yeah.
and they're hanging out. Like you said, they're still talking to each other,
Right.
you know,
It's just
whether
different.
it's just
Yes.
totally different. You touched on it a little bit with Coach Allegretto, who's been there with you the whole time.
Yes.
Your coaching staff, it's changed and other guys have slid in and out over the 28 years, but talk about those guys. I mean, because they are just as important and have been a core factor in the success that our school has had as well.
One thing that the school has allowed me to do is pick my staff, and you know, I'm blessed for that because you know we've lost some people and gained some people, and had to tell some people no and had to tell some people yes, and you know, just little things like that. But the staff is so good. I've learned through the years to not micromanage.
Really.
Let them coach. You
Yeah.
know, let them make the decisions. Let them do their job. I mean, that's what that's what I pay them to do. I mean, that's what they're paid to do or volunteer to do. And you know, they see what their position does every day in practice, and let them choose who's going in and out. Let them pick. You know, sometimes we have discussions, you know, why and this and that, but very rarely, because you know they want to win just as bad as anybody else does, and they just do a great job. I'm so blessed to have such a great staff, and like I said, Coach Allegretto with me all 28 years, my offensive coordinator, just does wonders, and what he does is truly amazing, and his, you know, it's his plan, and getting David Rock on staff to coach defense, and you know, his defense coordinator. I mean, and then all the other coaches, all of them. I mean, my goodness, all of them have a lot of South Range ties, you know, or if they haven't, they've been with me for a while. Like Coach Doc hasn't been with me, has been with me like 11, 12 years. And since we moved to the new school, and he's been wonderful. And getting Tony back, you know, he was with us, gone to East Palestine, got him back. And
Tony Foster.
Yeah. And, you know, getting Levi Taylor on staff was huge this year too. And, you know, Coach Toy and Coach Crumbacher, and, you know, there's so many. It's so awesome. I mean, it really is.
And you talk about all those guys there. You just rambled off a whole bunch of names that people are familiar with at South Range. Former players.
Oh, yeah.
Coming back. I mean, and listen, we all go back as former players. There's an opportunity to coach. I mean, I'm coaching baseball there and been doing it for, I think this is year 12 for me now. We go back because we love South Range.
Right.
And you want to be a part of the program, no matter what sport it is.
Right.
How is that for you as a head coach, welcoming in Rock and Taylor and Toy and Crumbacher, having former players come back now coaching, and how is it coaching former players?
You know, it's fun. They understand. I mean, they understand how important South Range is. They understand the commitment to community and the kids and everything else. They understand it's going to take a lot of work. And I like I said, I've been blessed. Those guys have been they're phenomenal coaches and phenomenal men, and you know, great role models for the other players and everything else. But you know, you know, some players are great players and maybe not good coaches, and some players. We knew Levi. I mean, that was a huge pickup. And Coach Toy said, you know, he just moved back from Utah and was in his parents' basement. And he got injured his senior year. And when he got injured, blew his knee, you know, couldn't play. We put him as a position coach then. Said, okay, you got to coach that position. You know, because he was making a lot of changes on defense anyhow, and he just did a great job then. So when he came back and was in the area and not working, that was a no-brainer to get him back on staff after we lost a couple coaches, and that was awesome. I mean, he's just so smart, so intelligent, and you know, we saw the way he coached his peers which is a lot harder than coaching somebody younger than you. So, I mean, he just, and like I said, he just did a phenomenal
What
job.
year did he graduate? Because I remember Rock was one of the kids when I was in like 6th, 7th, 8th grade looking up to him as an athlete in basketball.
I would have coached. I coached Rock in basketball, so
Yeah,
he would have
yeah.
been
when I was
a couple
when I
years
was
old.
younger.
Yeah, in seventh. You would have been 7th, 8th
Yeah,
grade.
always looked up to him. Yeah, for sure. What year did
Levi, it might have been 5 years ago.
So he's young.
Yeah, he is
Wow.
young.
Yeah.
Let's see. He was on that.
Couldn't tell. He's got that long flowing hair.
Not
and the big
anymore.
beard. Oh, he cut it.
The kids, they said
Oh.
he's told them if they want a state title, they could cut his hair. And
That's
they
awesome.
kept his
Yeah.
beard.
But
It was
cut
the
his hair.
beard or the hair. They had a choice. They cut
That's
the hair.
amazing.
But he was on the team with Bazzacco and
Oh, no,
and
okay.
Remish in that group.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah,
he
so
was,
not
he
that
was
long
part
ago
of that
then.
group. No,
Like 17,
Yeah.
maybe 18.
Yeah, right around.
Brandon Young's.
Right around.
Matter of fact, he's the one that
Yeah.
even with the blown knee, he came back in the playoffs. When we were making the run to the playoffs, we lost 3 kickers that year. And he came back and kicked for us. He had to walk out onto the field, kick, and walk back off because he
That's
wasn't
right.
able
So that
to
would have
run.
been like around 18 because the
Wow.
17, 18 year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it
Because
was
Brandon,
pretty awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
and during soccer blew his knee out.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. Coach.
Okay.
So now I've been coaching because my kids are coming up, and I coach basketball with parents for like 7, 8 years, and
Yeah.
Do you ever get a sideline infraction? Do you ever get flagged by the ref?
I have. Yeah, it happens.
I got it this year as an assistant coach.
Well, you say a sideline infraction,
in
sideline
6th grade.
sideline warnings. Yes, but
Yes.
like have they thrown a penalty on
No.
you personally?
No, just sideline warnings.
Okay,
And some of it's just because you can argue and you got to learn.
Yeah.
You got to learn
Yeah, some struggle.
when
See,
when
see,
to
my-
stop. And
My
It is
coach is
hard.
so here's what I no, you're okay. So here's what I figured out my coaching is with my coaching style. I am a mix of Coach Yeagley and Coach McHugh. Hold on.
Two of the most mild-mannered coaches.
No,
you-
Coach
you're part-
McHugh, dude. When I coach basketball right now, I do the foot stomp sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
with
the
the
clipboard. Yeah, I'm literally threw my hat the other day. I'm like, I'm Coach McHugh. I'm Coach McHugh. I had to sit down. So yeah. No, it is. Anyways, I was gonna say I've been coaching now for just the little kids. It's freaking hard. I don't know how you're not exhausted.
it is hard. It is.
It's exhausting.
Notes I've taken so far from him that you
Yeah.
don't have. Okay. Keeping your cool, number one, don't have that at all whatsoever.
No,
Number
no,
two,
never.
don't micromanage.
Yeah,
That's
totally
what he said.
micromanage everybody.
Totally micromanage everything everyone does
It's
at all
true.
times.
All times, all
Yeah.
aspects of my
being
career.
being your employee as you as my
Wait,
manager.
you were
You
my-
kind of leave me alone.
He was my assistant coach for
Oh,
basketball this
yeah.
year.
Oh,
6
there
week
you go.
coach. He made it 2 months.
It's like, yeah, this isn't for me. Not
See,
for me.
it was hard when I was defensive coordinator and head coach at the same time. That was hard
Okay.
because it became you were tied up in the game and you missed some of the things that you needed to take care of during a game as
Yeah,
a head
that
coach,
was
and
hard, yeah.
that was hard. And Coach Doc came on board. Got him from Austintown. Actually, got him from Austintown, and he said, "Well, let me do it." So he did it, and he did it for a couple of years. Then Rock, he said, "Just let Rock do it."
Yeah.
He's doing it anyhow. So,
Yeah, right, yeah.
So then he became the defense coordinator, and then that freed me up to be able to not have to worry about calling an offensive play or a defensive play. Because
Would you ever audible out and say, "Hey, I want this play run," though, as a head coach?
No, I trust them
Okay,
to do their
wow.
job. I
Yeah.
mean, a long
I
time
wouldn't be
ago,
able to do that.
a long time ago, maybe, but like I said, Coach Allegretto has been with me for so long.
That's true.
I'm not going to question what he does, and I'm not going to question what David does. And I know when I was calling defense for Coach McClellan,
Yeah.
he would question me sometimes. He'd say, "Why?" And I said, "Well, you know what? On third down, the last 3 times they did this, so I went ahead and I'm defending that play." So okay,
right.
this is conversation going on during a game, and I couldn't. I can't do that during a game.
Kinda undermine
There's
the
too
guys a
much.
little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not a time. And he wasn't undermining. He was just asking.
Yeah,
good
That's
leader,
his
though.
curiosity.
It's a good leader. Like he said, you put those people in those
There's
positions.
different leadership
Lead
styles.
it. Lead
There
it.
are.
But he hired them. He brought them in. So he
Yes.
brought them in. He has
I
to trust
lead
them to do the
you
jobs he hired them
You
for.
and O'Keel, I don't tell you to do anything. You
And
guys
we start-
literally work from home and don't do anything.
We actually, it's like we've started already.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in Columbus. That's when we usually start. So we start the 1st of February getting ready for the next season already. And so we're throwing ideas out and getting rid of ideas, but we do it as a staff. You know, Coach Allegretto says, I'm thinking about this. Oh, that's good. We can do this, this, and this. Well, maybe not that, because I don't know if we have this kind of person to do that. So we start throwing ideas out all winter and all spring, and, monthly meetings, if not more, and just try to figure out what's happening. And, it's really not, yes, Coach Allegretto calls the plays. It's his offense, but he has a lot of intake, especially from Coach Toy, who's the running back coach, and Coach Combs, which we haven't talked about. He's the wide receiver coach. And, and now Coach Taylor and Coach Foster, the line coaches, they all work very well together to come up with a good offensive plan. And it's fun.
So I'm looking at Dick Lotz's comment on here, and I did have this as a question as well. He's saying, despite being in different leagues, how important is it to schedule a school like Springfield, a longtime local foe who was our motivation to perform well in the 70s? Does a local rival need to be preserved because of the tradition and history and great games? And my one question I had on here, who, if anyone, is like a rival to you still to this day, going, man, this team, I mean, I kind of think I know which one it might be in my head. I'm with Luke. Springfield is still just that team that I just like, ugh.
Springfield has to be. I mean, that's, we've changed in size, but we really haven't changed in size. And the schools aren't that much different in size, even though they want to say they are smaller than we are, which they are if you go by numbers, but literally they're not. That's a game that I would love. I agree with, Dick Lotz. That needs to be played. And we have a lot of fun. I used to call Sean up all the time. I called him just the other day, and if their stadium's not ready, I told him we can play at our place. And he said, no, we'll run somewhere else. But he's fun. He's a great coach. And I think it is a game that still needs to be played. I mean, we started preparing already. We were, the Monday after the state championship game, that's when we started preparing for Springfield. Wow. You have to. And, even though I'm stepping aside, I know that's the thought of the other coaches, and that's how you have to start thinking. You have to start thinking about them, and those are great teams. And we picked up Green this year for 1 year, and then Salem after that. So we're playing a big school.
That's
D2.
A big school, right?
Yeah, they're D2. They're in the Federal League, and it's. But we could nobody would play us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point. We picked up JFK again. That's always been a good game for us, and then we got a league play. So. It's good. The new league is good. I mean, the NE8 is a great league.
And it's a league that they didn't think, and I say they, like when they invited South Range to be a part of this league, I really don't think they knew what they were getting. I really think they thought, man, okay, it's a school with good tradition, and they have good sports there, and they're going to bring fans to the games. But boy, these bigger schools like Poland and Niles and Hubbard, they're just going to take care of business. Dude. And every day. I mean,
I live in Poland.
Yeah.
Everybody was telling, oh, you guys are dead. Like
it's the doormat.
Yeah.
Thought it was going to be a doormat.
100%.
But he's seen it walking through the halls. I see it walking through the halls. There's, in where all the records are, there's 16, 17 NE8 championships on the wall from all the sports. So, I mean, walking into that, being a little school was not going to be anything we were afraid of. But something you alluded to there, Coach, is you say you're stepping aside. When did you know? When did you know sitting there? I know you got questions after the state championship and everything. When you guys finally got to exhale, and I say you guys being you and Kelly and the family, sitting down going, okay, when did you just say, man, it's time for me to sit back and let's go travel. Let's go hang out with the grandkids and do this stuff. I don't need to coach anymore. I'm good.
Well, I told the kids a week and a half ago. I told the players that Friday. I told the coaches Thursday night. I told my parents that Thursday night. I told my boys that Thursday night. Kelly and we talked about it maybe a little bit that week, but it wasn't
just recently.
No, wow! It was just
it wasn't like get home. Well, I'm done.
No, we were the 2 months after the state championship was really busy, and running here, running there. Always, yes, I had a lot of things going on. I want to thank the college coaches. They waited to come in until after the finals. They wanted to come in, so that it was almost every day I was in there after the 2 months, and always something going on. But we never really thought about it until we got when we were at the clinic, the state clinic, and I had to speak at the state clinic, and I sat back and watched the staff, and I watched their interaction, and I watched they're talking about football, and they're talking about the next season, and they're talking about life. They're talking about a bunch of different things. I realized at that point that, guess what, the program's in great shape. It's okay if I step away at that point. And I didn't say anything. I got back home. That was February 2nd. I got home the 3rd, and we talked about it just a little bit, and never really made a final decision until I said,
So that Thursday when you talked.
Yeah, I called a couple people and said, this is what I'm going to do. And I called Kelly because she was babysitting the kids. I said, well, I talked to these people, and I'm going to tell the boys on Friday. And she said, oh, okay. So
what did the boys say?
You know what? They were, it comes down to, they were shocked because I've done it all my life.
Yeah, right.
Ever since they were little, that's all they'd known.
Yeah.
And then you see some were happy because they know we talked about family all the time.
Yeah.
And they now, I told them now it's time for me to spend time with my family. And they understood that. And then you see some uncertainty because, the next group saying, okay, the next group of seniors, what's going to happen, and the juniors, what's going to happen. Those are two really good classes, very talented. And I told them, I said, hopefully they hire within. I mean, that's my hope. And I have no say in it, but that's my hope. And cause that would be the smoothest transition for the kids, is to hire somebody within that they already know everything's in place.
I mean, I remember, when McClellan had been there for a while.
Yes.
And then you took over, and it was, I didn't even skip a beat. You know what I mean? I didn't even, because it was.
And the same thing happened when, when McNay left and Franny took over, he was already assistant on the staff. And then when he stepped down, Owen took over, he was already assistant. Then McClellan took over, he was already assistant. Then I took over. And so it was just, everything was just fell into place. And that's what you want. It's not like the program is broke. And needs revamped.
Far from it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's things that need changed, and some of that's just because I'm old school, and it's and there's nothing wrong with that.
I wonder if that old school worked or not, though, Coach.
Right.
But
I don't know if you want to.
There's some things that need changed, things that could be changed for the better, and and we'll talk about that. Whoever gets it, and they can.
So you're not going to assistant coach at all?
No, I'm not.
Great.
I was already asked.
How old are your grandkids?
Well, 7'5".
Where do they go to school?
Mineral Ridge.
So 7'5". So if you coach your 7th grade kid, I have an 8th grader. We could end up coaching against each other.
Woo.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
So and
if I'm gonna run, I'm telling you right now, I'm running buck trap every time. Right up the middle. Buck trap up the middle.
So I know you get asked that question a lot, but I can turn to you. So when he said, "Honey, I'm done coaching," how did you feel about that? Because for 30 plus years, you've been a coach's wife. You're never not going to be a coach's wife. Because again, like I said, he's always going to be our coach.
She's not going to know. She's going to be like, what do I do now? He's home all the time.
Well,
he's actually super annoying now that he's home all the time.
Oh my gosh, why don't you go coach?
There's
something to do.
Because it's been a progression now, because first he retired from teaching, so he's home a little more. And now he's going to retire from coaching. He's going to be home. So when he said that, how did you feel? Like, man, this is going to be.
No, I said, I'm ready if you're ready. Yeah. I would have never asked him to quit coaching because that's awesome. Something that he loves. Why should I take something away from him that he loves? So but I was ready. I want my honey home.
It is. The ultimate love story.
We know when he starts coaching again, she's mad at me. I mean, I am going to die.
No, I'll make him go to Home. He's going to go to Home Depot and get a job or something like that.
What? Are you going to pick up some hobbies? Woodworking?
Yeah. What are you going to do?
What are you going to get into?
You're going to have so much time.
We're going to travel. I mean,
yeah.
We bought last year. We bought a truck and a fifth wheel. We got a camper, and we actually parked it last summer. Over at Chaparral outside of Salem, and I was able to go back and forth to practice some from there, and we did that. But good. I love fishing, so I'm going to do some fishing, and so we're going to do. I'm going to get back to the stuff that I like and spend time with Kelly, obviously. And we're going to travel. We're going to head sometime here this spring, summer. This summer, maybe head south, and sooner or later we'll head to California to see her sister.
Yeah.
The one that I had to stop by to make sure that
Still stopping by.
Renee said you have to tell the story about running into the back of our car.
Oh my goodness.
How old were you?
I was let's see, that would have been my junior year in high school. We were going to practice. Gerald Komanek was in the car. That's the kid I gave rides to every day. And we came around where Angels for Animals is now, that bend right there. It used to be Hearst Packing.
Yeah,
at that time.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It came around the bend there, and her her mom was stopped right there in the middle, stopped on the road, and I didn't get stopped quick enough. And
Oh no.
Is this why you were dating?
No, we weren't even seeing each other then.
Oh, right.
This was
and-
high school.
Oh, high school.
This is
Okay.
high school, and
But
they
I
were
was-
driving a Pinto.
Oh,
Jeez. And they were all in the car. They just got back from Wildwood or somewhere. They were going somewhere, and so had to buy them a new bumper. And
Yeah. But I was mortified that Mr. Blue Eyes came. I realized that it was Dan Yeagley, and I had mascara underneath my eyes, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you can't see me like this." And he wasn't even my boyfriend.
Yeah. Wow.
So the question is, when you guys started dating, did that get brought up? Like, hey,
Oh yes,
that bumper over there looks
pretty new because I bought him a new one. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
It was things that you could fix on your own, and
couple bolts.
we went out and bought a new one, and my dad and I put it on for him, and
That is
Byron was
amazing.
there and made sure we did it right.
Oh yeah,
Everything was-
the ultimate supervisor.
Oh,
So yeah, it was good. So
he did some work for my parents at one point. I forget what it was, like electric. Was it electrical?
Yeah.
And he was like, my dad was like, he's the most precise person he's ever had work on his house ever. Kelly, did you remember him being there, Isaac?
No.
The electrical?
Oh.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oops, lost my microphone.
So you talk about your folks. How did they feel about it? Were they like? Because I mean, they're there. I mean, every Friday night.
Yeah.
I mean, there they are, front row, and they've been there for
Yeah.
same amount. 30 some years watching you coach, and
my dad said 2 more years. I thought you'd go 2 more years. I don't know what- and
he just
I,
had that number in his head.
and I don't know if he meant so I could go to 30 years of being a head
30.
coach, or
Wow.
he knows the next 2 classes are pretty good and
Yeah.
pretty special too. And it was never about
Numbers.
never about numbers. When Coach McClellan stepped down,
Yeah.
we were in bad shape, and my first year we were sort of in bad shape.
Yeah, a little bit.
And so it's a little bit of transition. And I always said
It was quick though.
yeah, if I had the chance to step down and maybe not get fired, that I was going to leave the program in good shape.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted. And the program is in good shape. And, luckily I didn't get fired. I was able to, so
Go out on your own.
That first year was rough, Isaac.
Yeah.
We're talking about that first year, his first year. So he had all these winning records. I hang my hat on the fact we were the first undefeated, and we were also the worst. Well, the 4 and 6 was the worst. But his year, it was the sophomore year. So my sophomore year, you would have been, what were you, a JV coach?
yes, we were 3-7.
And McClellan, we were bad. And then we got better and better, and then it was good
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
You never had a losing season since then?
I had 3.
Three.
Three.
3
Oh, did you say that? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Earlier.
So
Okay.
The
3.
first year, and then there was a
Something in the 2000s.
2010.
Yeah.
I think. No,
7.
11 or 12. We weren't very good
yeah.
my senior year.
It's because you guys all played
I think there was
soccer.
only
we all played
I think there's only like
It's because you guys all
I think
played
we only
soccer.
had 3
Played
seniors
football.
on the team
Yeah,
that
yeah,
year.
because
So,
everybody,
so-
all you guys
We
were
played
freaking,
soccer.
oh, you freaking guys were playing
Yeah.
soccer.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
play football.
But I think the same thing happened. We played a lot of juniors that year, and then the next year we were good again.
Super.
So
Super tough.
Yeah, and I think the same thing with the most recent one, and probably 7-8 years ago,
Mm.
and it was the same. Like a lot of young kids playing had a
Right.
little
Well-
lull, and then you go right back up,
When you have a
Right.
smaller school,
and you're going to
Right.
you
state
have a smaller
semifinals and
school
stuff.
like that.
Right.
I mean, the amount of seniors matter. I mean, there's
Right.
no doubt about it, right?
Oh, it does.
I mean, it has
It's
to.
huge.
Because there's such a difference.
There's a
between
huge correlation.
Yeah.
There. I mean, it really is. So.
Yeah. So, and they're losing 20.
20.
20.
Exactly 20.
Yeah.
Canfield, I know Canfield, who also won
28.
28.
That's
28.
crazy
Yes.
amount of people.
Yes.
Crazy amount of kids to lose. So,
Yeah.
wow. Well, I don't know. We're at an hour and 15. We're about 15 minutes early.
I need advice from a coach. How do you deal with parents?
Oh, that's a
advice.
good one. Yeah, wait.
I need that
Hey,
advice.
we got another 45 minutes for everybody here, so go ahead.
Because you look at, like, you think about that before you answer that, coach. Like, these guys are coaching basketball.
Right.
I'm a baseball coach. Parents are so more accessible to those sports because they're right there. You, thankfully, they're in the stands. There's a track bleacher or track buffer a little bit for you. But
we put a moat.
yeah, but they still can get to you. How is that?
You know, it's you know, you have parents and you know they want to talk, and you know there's times where you know I had to say, you know, we're gonna have this conversation. You might not like what I'm about to say, and you know it comes down to, you know, we evaluate every single day, and that's you have to, and you know sometimes somebody's better. I mean, I don't care what you're in. You know, football coach. Guess what? There's football coaches way better than me, and there's always somebody better.
Yep.
And that's a life lesson. You know, not everybody gets a trophy. You know, and that's that welcome to reality. And when you talk to them, they got to understand that, because guess what? They might apply for a job, and guess what? They may not get it. You know, that's.
Have I not said that exact same thing to you, for the record? Exactly.
I said it in the locker room to him. I mean,
well, I was on the bench.
but it's true. I mean, you don't get everything's not handed to you, and you got to earn it. And you always try to come back and say, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
You know, you need to work harder in practice. You got to spend some more time in the off season. You know, if a basketball coach, my goodness, there's not a coach. I don't care if it's a football coach, baseball coach, that won't tell you, hey, don't shoot a basket in your backyard.
Yeah. All day.
You can do that anytime. And matter of fact, I'd rather have them doing that instead of sitting on the couch eating potato chips or playing video games.
Yeah. Right.
So go do something. And that's something that they have to realize, that, you know, guess what? Sometimes somebody's better. Yeah. And, you know, we had seniors this year. You're having 20 seniors. You're only playing 11.
Yeah.
There's seniors that are sitting on the bench at times. And, you know, sometimes they get beat out, you know, and that happens. And, you know, we only got one state trophy in football, because guess what? We got beat out before. You know, Kirtland, you know, is Kirtland, you know, and stuff like that, because
they were in
the
way.
Yeah, and I mean, do we have other teams that could have competed more? Yes, but guess what? We got beat by state champs.
Do you think parents? Do you think it's gotten harder dealing with the parents?
Things are more open than they used to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Things are more open. You got more parents coaching different levels.
Yeah.
You know, like you're coaching at a level and stuff like that. And you know, AAU, you know, all JUCO, all that stuff is, you know, kids are doing more and more and being coached by different people. And sometimes some coaches have different philosophies than other coaches. And all of a sudden now you get, you know, well, they're playing for this guy, and how come he's not playing for you? Well, things change. You know, it's different philosophies. Are they doing what you say in practice? Are they not doing what you say in practice? You know, that's what it comes down to. It's hard for parents. I mean, every parent wants their kid to play. You know, I want their kid to play. I mean, we wouldn't be having this conversation if your kid was playing, but guess what? He got beaten. And that's part of, unfortunately, that's part of life.
I think it's so much different now, because as well, like a kid can go home and maybe complain to mom and dad, and then they almost want to like run and defend them. When I think back of like when we were in school, and definitely like when you were in school, like if you went home and told mom and dad, man, I don't think I'm getting the playing time.
Could you imagine?
It would have been, you know, a little smack on the head and be like, then you better work harder.
Little smack on the head. I mean,
you know, or a kick in the butt and be like, you got to work harder to get that. And I think that's changed so much that like the parents sometimes don't see that. Like it's like they immediately want to run and defend their kid. And
how long did you teach for?
Taught for 37 years.
Yeah. So my wife's a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
6-7 years. There are parents that'll come in there for like this and say, my kid said you said this. Kindergarten, right? And like defending the kid. You had to run into it as a teacher.
Oh,
so
yes.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like if
and that was a big curve probably. At the beginning, it was, you know, you see those cartoons where it's like it used to be kids
go to school and be good to your teacher. Now go to school and make sure your teacher's good to you.
Big Fred used to go. True. I remember Big Fred going to student conferences, like or the parent teacher conferences. I remember him going. And after he walked out the door, I'd look at my sister and be like, "Well, I'm gonna get grounded for the next 9 months." It's been nice. It's been nice.
I had those conversations.
negotiating with the smart teachers that were like, "Hey, if you don't do this, I'm gonna call your dad. Please, I won't do anything. Don't call my dad."
I had to be good in his class though,
Yeah.
because he's my freaking football
Yeah,
coach. I mean, there was
that's
no
true.
choice there. I had to be good in his class.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't an option, but yeah, there was
And
no
then
way.
one more question too. As a leader, as a football coach, I saw not playing football for you, but seeing other athletes that might have been, I don't know, like problem kids within other sports, but then they always do so well under you. So how did you might have a problem kid here or there, but you always manage to inspire them and be a good leader and get them pointed in the right direction. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know. That's
He has a
Because they
way.
always talked about how great of a leader you were, how awesome of a coach you were, how much they loved you. And yeah, it's just
It's his
very
way.
powerful.
But go ahead, Kelly.
It's his way.
Yeah.
It's oh, what's the word I want to say? That's your gift.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we work hard, and
No,
it's a lot. All the kids work hard too.
Well,
I
I
mean, the
mean-
players and everything. It's you put in the time, and you can't be afraid to tell a kid that you love them.
Yeah.
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 And that's I know that it's hard, especially you're in a testosterone high locker room,
Yeah, right.
and you tell, hey, you're playing for that guy next to you. It's very, very important, and you got to love that guy. You got to love him to a point where you're willing to do anything for him. And it's nice that you can't be afraid to say that, and you can't be afraid to to tell them that you do care about them and spend a little extra time with them. And if there was I coached many positions, and sometimes you hear, oh, this kid's rough and he's bad and this and that and whatever else. Sometimes I coach that position, because I'm not afraid to talk to him. I'm not afraid to spend that little extra time. I coach wide receivers some because, oh, this person that, we're gonna have trouble with this person. We're not gonna have trouble with him. And you just show them a little bit of respect, and you show them that, you give them time. We have, even the kids today, we have Trick Day Tuesday where we put in a trick play. Kids will come in with trick plays, and hey, let's put this in. Okay, this is on Madden, and we can do this, and we'll put it in. And we have, oh my goodness, we probably had about 30 trick plays this year. And did we run them all? No. We ran the double reverse pass in the state championship game. We scored on that, and then the double tight end scored with Dean in the end zone. Those are plays that you put in sometimes special for a kid.
That's
and
awesome.
and you run them, and so you let them feel like they're part of the program. They have just as much say as anybody else, and and
I've said similar stuff to that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
When I
have
talk
to.
him.
You got to get them to buy into the program,
Yeah.
and to do that, they got to start caring about the guy next to them. And I even talked to the girls, Canfield girls basketball team the other day, and I said, talking to girls, you say, you might tell the person sitting next to you that you love them. For a guy to say that, that's tough.
Yeah.
And but that's important. They got to understand that they love you. And guess what? You're going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
You may miss a free throw, or you may miss an extra point. Guess what? If they truly love you, they won't care.
Yeah.
They'll rally around you, and that's what you try to do. And
Love
it's
that.
hard. I mean, it's
Yeah.
hard, but it's you got to get them to buy in and let them know that you care.
And
Well,
their
Well,
life.
now I want to be nicer to my 6th grade team. Now.
Yeah.
That would have
Yeah.
been so much nicer to them.
Well, sometimes I watch film, and when I watch films, there's a lot of times I watch the opposing sideline instead
Yeah.
of the game.
Yeah.
I watch their coach. How are they a bunch of individuals, or are they a team? Are they when the starters come out, are they cheering for the other group that's in there? And when they make something happen, are they excited and jump up and down? They bought into it if they're doing that. Or when the coach is talking to him, does the kid walk away? Turn their back? How are they interacting with the coach? And then you start getting a feel for the team instead of X's and O's. You can put a defense up against anybody or run an offensive play that will work or might not work because it's high school kids. But how are they interacting with each other? And I think that's so important. And we get on our kids. when like our quarterback, when he gets off the field, he'll go sit on the bench to catch his breath because he's intense. He gets tired quick and everything else. But something happens, he'll be the first one off the bench and the first one on the field, high-fiving and chest bumping and everything else. And that's, Shane Lindstrom. My goodness, he's around kids all the time. And, he started, we have practice at 8. He'll be there at 6 o'clock in the morning and get other kids to come and just run with them and stretch with them and do stuff like that. And because he cares about the program. And that's important. It's so important. So.
And you look at, you talk about making that connection with the kids, and it's a lifelong thing. I mean, I know I've done it myself personally, called you to ask you, some help with something. And I know guys do that you probably get them multiple times, if not a day, throughout the week and months and everything, that former players are calling you and asking you for advice. And that right there just shows why they do, because they know you care so much. And it just goes, like I said, I know I've done it myself and called you and said, hey, I need some advice with something's going on here. Can you help me out?
I might not remember their name.
Sorry. That's why Kelly's there.
That's right. But I always try to help them.
What year did you graduate?
But I always try to help out.
Well, what's amazing to me though too is like, and again, I know we're running long here, but we're the coach. The word coach is amazing to me now, because I still call you coach, right? Mm-hmm. All these guys have to still call you coach. You had people, they're going to call you coach forever. Like I saw, who did I see? Coach Schmidt, my 6th grade football coach.
I still call him coach.
I still call him coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's like, you can just call me. I was like, no, I'm going to call you coach. like that's just, and that's going to live with these people forever. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
It's a respect thing too.
Yeah,
I mean, it was tough for me to, like, when I started going back and working at the school, like it's Coach Yeagley. It's always been Coach Yeagley. Yeah. It would never be Dan.
No.
And other teachers, I would call them by their first name or by their name. And they're like, you can call me this. No, I can't.
Yeah.
No, it's just that respect and what they've done and influenced your life.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I could never.
It was that way for me too. When I came back to South Range, a lot of the teachers were still there.
Yeah.
And
were you calling them Mrs. and Mr.?
Yep. I did.
You have to.
Because that's how I was brought up.
Yeah.
Too. And the coaches were still all coaches. I mean, still are. Coach McClellan's going to be Coach McClellan. Coach Owen's Coach Owen. And they're all.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, yeah. Coach Fair. I saw Mr. Fair. Don Fair. I saw him. Coach.
Yeah.
That's what you call them. It's just,
that's
their names. But the little kids. So again, and it's happening now with me. Your kids that I coached in basketball for you, they call me coach still. Like, or see me, I'm like, this is so weird.
Yep.
And I tell them not to, and they still do. So, well, coach,
it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So last thing for you here. So we know kind of what's next, doing some traveling, some fishing, but is it going to go on during August through October, November?
Are you just
are we going to see you at the South Range?
Are you going to see this dance?
I've been asked that. Even today, Mark Means from BBW talked to him.
How many interviews did you do today?
A few.
I thought we were special. I see him on YSN. I see him. What the heck?
I told Kelly today was a rough day.
You got to talk to your manager over there. You got to book this.
It is.
And you can see it when you guys walked in.
Oh yeah,
I see it now. I mean,
it's amazing.
I don't know. And I've said it a couple times. I got to get through June and July and August first, and then come game time, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to go. I don't know. I can't sit in the stands. I won't be on the sideline. I mean, I'll be off to a side.
Go park that RV right on the parking lot. Sit on the roof. Get a lawn chair, sit on the roof. You're gonna see one of those drones fly over.
That or like Bobby Valentine, he's going to show up with the mustache.
Yeah,
right. Sitting over there in
disguise.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, first game's at Springfield. I'm not going to pay anything to Springfield.
See, I think the same way I am.
I think they might give you a pass though.
But I don't know what I'm going to. I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know if we'll be in town then. Yeah. We might be down south or something like that. It will be tough.
That'd be tough. Yeah.
I'll still listen, still watch, do something. I mean, I have to.
You almost want to take a step away and not go to not interfere.
I think that'd be
Sitting
smart.
next to an artist who's painting a picture, and you're an artist watching. Like you can't. You're gonna try and influence them in some way, shape, or form. You can't do that.
Yeah, I don't.
Man, you don't want to be that.
The nice thing is, like I said, the coaches have been coaching.
Yeah,
all
so
along.
they know what they're. Yeah,
they're going to do what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, whether I'm there or not, they're going to do what they do, and it's gonna be a smooth transition, hopefully. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to get through. It'll be hard at first. Like you said, it might be better to be away, and I don't know. There'll be. The only thing I asked is I said, keep me on huddle. So keep me on huddle so I can watch practice. I can watch whatever. And
it's gonna kill him. Hey, I'm gonna like. They're gonna get an unmarked envelope, like underneath the door with plays and stuff.
No, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I wouldn't even. I mean, I can't, and that's. Wow. They gotta learn.
Tom Brady, come back in August. Never mind.
I'm back
in.
We're gonna have to do this all again.
Yeah. Oh no.
So in June and July, we didn't mention it. I know, again, like you're such a humble guy to not have to even talk about it. You want to talk. You are going into the Hall of Fame.
Confirmed.
For the state.
Oh,
state.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go. That's awesome.
That's
June.
Wow. June. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
so
an
you gotta
honor.
be around for then.
Yeah.
Then you can do some traveling after that.
Yeah. The Ohio High School Football Coach Association has a Hall of Fame, and it's crazy to see the people in it.
Yeah.
You got Paul Brown.
Wow.
You got Coach McNay's in it. I mean, you got some of these coaches that are legends, that I admire, and I the names and stuff like
Legend.
that.
Legend.
And
are you gonna wear your shirt?
No.
Definitely wear your shirt to that event. That'd be awesome. That's definitely a power move.
Wear your own shirt.
It's gonna be, that's gonna be a special time. I mean, it really is, and looking forward to it. And a couple of the coaches Jerry Cook, who hired me, one of the coaches that hired me down at Watkins, he's getting inducted at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So that's pretty awesome.
That's
and
pretty neat.
Coach Drivisano from Menor, who I coached in an all-star game with, he's getting inducted also. And so there's some
great class.
It's an awesome class. I mean, the people are good people, and looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing some of those people, because I know that some of the coaches I coach with down in Columbus, they'll come for Jerry and Coach Cook, and so it'll be fun seeing them. And like I said, it's an honor. I'm blessed over and over again.
That'll be great. And I know what you were talking about, and hopefully that's not that far off as well, that he's in our Hall
he's
of
got to
Fame.
be in our Hall. Yeah,
I mean,
sure, I have no doubt. So,
yeah.
Shoot, if I'm in that Hall of Fame, he's going to be in my Hall of Fame. I mean, come on now.
Well, you should be in the Hall of Fame.
I am.
How'd you get it again? Who nominated you?
I did not get nominated for my sister.
Who nominated you?
Leanna nominated me, my sister, but I still got in.
Because she was in before you.
Yeah.
I still got in. I was pretty good at football.
You were.
I was
very well deserved.
Nominated by your sister?
I would have still got in.
You would have.
I would have eventually.
You would have gotten in.
Same day.
You would have gotten in.
35-year-old coach. 35 coach. 35 years of coach.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotten in.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, let's wrap this baby up. Coach, thank you very much for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm sorry that you've asked before and things just didn't work out. And
we're good.
This is
we're
awesome.
Good. This has been a lot of fun. We appreciate you coming on. We've had a lot of people watching too.
Absolutely.
Like it's been good.
And it's all timing, Coach. Like, they tried to get you on right after the football game. But now
your manager was really shutting us out.
Yeah. But now you show up after retirement, so it was kind of like one big old
good.
Wrap it up in a big bow there. So
Isaac was totally harassing your manager for like months. I'm not going like,
please,
what do we have to do? And
she's tough.
Well, Isaac's
it's a heavy screening over there.
Isaac's like, how can we get her on? How can we get him on? How can we get her on? I was like, well, you got to go through Kelly. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is rule number one. So, well, we appreciate. There's Jake. There's one of my graduates, Jake Haas.
Oh yes, Jake.
There he is. Hey, buddy.
How awesome.
So there's so many, like 330 Sports Show saying congrats, Justin.
Cody.
Oh my goodness. Cody Yeagley. Yep.
They're all saying, well, Coach, I guess Coach Mrs. Yeagley, you guys enjoy your retirement. Make him enjoy himself. Don't.
Oh, we will.
Okay, good
That's
deal.
Not a problem.
And enjoy. I don't know what else. Just good luck in the future, and it'll be good. Good luck.
We'll see you around. We're not falling out.
I literally just pictured you guys right now as you walk out the door, just driving off, and then in the RV, just driving off into the sun. It's over. They got interviewed by us. I think it's done.
Right. He's still got more stuff to do. Like he said pre-show, he's out there ordering helmets and stuff today.
Yeah,
So I mean,
today, and
he's still coach.
We haven't had our award ceremony yet. We had our.
Oh, that'll be
crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be nuts.
Because we had our award ceremony was actually the Sunday after the state championship game was scheduled. The banquet was.
Yeah.
What?
And we didn't have any awards yet.
So did you guys just go to eat?
Yeah, we ate. I did my, thanked everybody and had a little bit of fun, and it was very nice.
Yeah.
And
it was interesting.
It was a nice.
I got to MC it. It was like, hey, coach, and he's like, hey, listen, I don't have anything to hand out, so I'm just going to talk. And everybody sat back and said, there you go. Go ahead.
Huh? Yeah, we had
4 hours.
A lot to talk about. For 16 weeks,
and I'm complaining about an hour and a half. We're still going.
So we still have the awards to give out, and then the rings. So the rings should be in middle of March, I think. So I don't know if we're gonna do two separate or maybe just wait until March and have one.
Are you gonna get a ring?
Yes.
Get a ring? So, okay. Hall of Fame induction. Ring, shirt.
Hold on, adjust this mic real quick.
I mean, let us plan your outfit. It'll be amazing. Ring, shirt.
I think the manager takes care of that.
Takes care of that too.
It's gonna get on it.
She said you need a new suit. So okay,
yeah.
So that will happen.
Well, I guess good question. Do you get a ring?
You don't want a ring. We should get you a ring.
For 30 plus years. I know you got a nice, you got a wedding ring, but you need a.
There you go.
It got upgraded.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody watching.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Isaac. Want to give her a speech?
Yeah. Like Luke said earlier, please check out the sponsors down below. Also, MLO BROS stands for Mortgage Loan Originator Brothers. If you need a home loan, please give us a call. We'll take care of you. We'll help you out. But thank you everybody for watching. On Thursday, we have the Melina Michelle Enfield Foundation from Canfield coming on. They're going to tell their story about how their daughter passed away when she was 4 years old from a rare brain tumor. Oh my gosh. And the foundation that they started,
but they turned it around into this huge foundation. It's awesome.
Choose Joy is their theme. So they want to raise some money to get kids involved in the community and have all kinds of fun stuff to remember their daughter. So we'll be talking to them on Thursday. And then what's Tuesday?
Tuesday is Corey McRae from WFMJ. He's a younger reporter.
Yes.
We'll talk to him.
And then Thursday, we're talking with Janelle Nagy, right?
Yes.
She has a chocolate fest in March.
No.
For her Piggyback Foundation.
Samples.
Samples
would be great.
One of the only reasons I do the show.
But tune in, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Coach, for coming on. Thanks, Muntz, for coming on.
Thanks, Paul. You're a sports guy. When we have sports people on, you just come on. He is. He's like numbers.
He knows numbers. We don't know numbers.
I'm terrible.
And he had access to the trophy.
Yes.
Right.
And access to the trophy.
It is true. So we'll get. Yeah, we're. That is. Can I look at it one more time?
Yeah,
look at this. You don't understand what this is for an ex-football player.
And I think this is the first time for this design too.
It is. That's a new design.
On accident.
I think Mr. Farron might have something to drop that.
I do not want to piss off Coach.
Yeah, it's the brand new design.
That is amazing.
New design.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, everybody, we'll see you guys all later. Thanks for watching. Please like and follow this, share it, and we'll see everybody Thursday. Bye, everybody. Say bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders. And I got to say Bulldogs, or else I get yelled at by my kid. He doesn't like hearing this. Bye.